Okay, let's talk about how to translate from words to symbols when it comes to inequalities. I mean, obviously, if you see this symbol, that means literally is greater than, right? But there's phrases that are synonymous with that, right? So is more than, is larger than, exceeds. And then for greater than or equal to, the direct translation for greater than or equal to is the first one. But if you think about it, is at least means the same thing, right? My grade point average is at least 3.0, which means what? 3.0 or higher, right? And there's others as well. I'll let you look at them. Okay, this symbol means literally is less than, but all of these are synonymous with that, right? Less than or equal to, that's the literal translation, the first phrase. But if you think about it, is at most means the same thing, right? My grade point average is at most 3.0, which means what? Could be really bad, right? 3.0 or less. So be familiar with that table and be able to translate from words to symbols. Let's do your favorite word problems, right? No? You're sure? I can't believe that. All this time I thought it was your favorite thing to do. So let's see if we can set up an inequality that we can use to solve this problem. Alan is loading a pallet with boxes that each weigh 45 pounds. The pallet can safely support no more than 900 pounds. So you got boxes, each box weighs about 45 pounds. You're putting them on pallets, wood pallets, right? The pallet can safely support no more than 900 pounds. How many boxes can he safely load onto the pallet? You could figure this out without algebra, but that's not the point. The point is we use algebra on these easier problems, so when we get to problems that would be really difficult to solve without algebra, you know the techniques. Okay? So if this were a test problem, you're expected to do it more or less the way I'm showing you here. I don't want you guys to be robots. I want you to be thinking beings and come up with your own way to do things. But in this particular case, if you don't use algebra, you're missing the point of the problem. Okay? So you do have to use algebra here. So I'll show you what I mean by that. We should name our unknown. Okay? And the last sentence tells you what your unknown is. How many boxes can he safely load onto the pallet? Which part of that sentence tells you the unknown? Right there. How many boxes? So, I mean, we don't get too creative here. You could say let x equal the number. Does that still mean number, or does it mean hashtag always now? I think it still means number, right? The number of boxes. Okay. So we're really interested in the weight, the total weight, right? So how much does one box weigh? 45 pounds. How much does 2 boxes weigh? 90 pounds. How much does 10 boxes weigh? How much do 10 boxes weigh? Multiply by 10, 450, right? How much does X boxes weigh? How much do X boxes weigh? That sounds better. What did you do to get the weight for 10 boxes? You multiplied 45 times 10. So how would you get the weight of X boxes? No, we're not there yet. In terms of X, how would you get the weight of X boxes? You guys are so good at arithmetic. You said that the weight of 2 boxes is 90. How did you get that? You multiplied the weight of 1 box by 2, you got 90. You told me that the weight of 10 boxes is 450. How did you get that? You took the weight of 1 box, 45 times 10. So what if you have X boxes? What would you do? You'd multiply by 45. So 45 times X, okay, let's write down what that gives you. Well, I'll write it down over here. That gives you the weight, WT for weight, of X boxes. So you guys, everybody in here can do these first two. All you got to do is make a little leap to the 45 times a generic number of boxes. and then you understand algebra. Okay, so what does that weight have to be less than? Or let's see, no more than. So technically, what does no more than translate to? Well, yeah, you could have an equal to in there, so less than or equal to. Okay, so that's got to be less than or equal to 900 pounds. Does that make sense? Anybody have questions on that? Well, that's not so hard to solve, is it? What do you do to solve that? Don't make me yawn, man. Okay. Divide by 4. There you go. 45. And what do you get? X is less than or equal to 20. 20 what? What? X is counting the number of boxes, so 20 boxes. So as long as you put in units there, I'd probably be pretty satisfied with your answer. You should be able to write the answer using a complete sentence, though, right? So Alan must use what? Or must load, if you like. Alan must load. You could use whatever phrase you want, but I'm going to use at most. I think is a nice one to use. What? 20 boxes. You could have said no more than 20 boxes. Less than or equal to 20 boxes. It all means the same thing. Alan must load at most 20 boxes. Does that make sense? Now, somebody spit out the division that would get us the answer right away without algebra, right? And that's good that you can do that, but it's not the point of the problem. The point is you're going to have much harder problems than this, maybe not in this class, but much harder problems than this that would be hard to represent or do in your head without algebra. So the algebra is the method is the point. This setup, so let me write down the setup separately. Remember the setup was 45, x is less than or equal to 900. And along with saying let x equal the number of boxes, I expect to see this work in a problem like this on a test, okay? That is mostly, I mean, you should get the right answer as well, but that thing that I boxed there, that is the point. The algebra is the point of the problem. The inequality is the point of the problem.